Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. We've got a great lineup. Let's take a look at what we're discussing on the show today. We'll start off with cricket, of course, and it's going to be particularly starting off with Pakistan. Now, the Pakistan cricket team, of course, is going to be facing Sri Lanka in a two-test series in Sri Lanka at Galle. Both the test matches will take place there. The team will leave for Sri Lanka on the 6th of July. But right now, the team's training sessions and practice sessions are underway at the Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. The team has been involved in extensive training. This includes batting, bowling and fielding. They also played a practice match as well, and they have been on their toes. Of course, there are certain selections that are making a comeback, one including that of Yasir Shah as well, who wants to prove himself, and I think he's gotten a spectacular opportunity to once again prove that he deserves a place in this playing 11. The first test match will commence on the 16th of July till the 20th, then the second one on the 24th, and these two test matches will take place at Galle Stadium. And Pakistan is very optimistic, but Sri Lanka looks in prime form as well. So of course we need to worry about the Sri Lankans and take our preparations very seriously. Moving on to more test cricket, England against New Zealand. The third test match is underway. The final day, England were given a target of 296 runs to win. At lunch, they have been cruising. Ollie Pope was playing brilliantly alongside Joe Root as well, and they've made some progress when it comes to chasing down the target. They're 183 for 2. It's a lunch break right now, but when they return, they will require another 113 runs from 93 overs and all to play for. And the brand of cricket that England have been playing is absolutely superb. Phenomenal stuff that we will be discussing. After that, Peshawar Zalmi, the PSL franchise, has now announced cricket trials not just in the UK, but in Europe as well. And this is, of course, big news when it comes to Peshawar Zalmi, because, of course, we know that they take a step forward in searching talent at grassroots levels, and now they're taking Peshawar Zalmi to Europe and UK. The talent hunt schedule is right there in front of your screens, and they're going to scout for talent all across UK as well. Then, of course, moving on to tennis, where Wimbledon has begun. All the action is live on PTV Sports HD in high definition, the biggest Grand Slam of the year, and all eyes on centre court and all the courts where action is taking place. But if you want to catch all the action, you can tune in to PTV Sports HD and enjoy action in high definition. That's the lineup that we're discussing on today's show. We'll discuss it in detail, but right after this short break, stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Time now to discuss things in detail, and of course we'll be starting off with cricket. Pakistan's tour to Sri Lanka. The training camp is underway at the Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. All the squad details as well, and also some players who want to make their mark on Pakistan cricket again and make a return that is, of course, memorable. To discuss this further, first of all, in studios we've been joined by cricket commentator and expert Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I am good, Ahmed. Thank you. How about yourself? How was your weekend?
I'm very good. Enjoying cricketing activities?
Of course, enjoying test cricket, and now the test cricket training in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. So, of course.
So, good things coming, obviously, when you talk about cricket. And, of course, we also have been joined on Sports Extra by a cricket expert, Hijab Zahid. Assalamu alaikum, Hijab. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed. I'm wonderful. Good evening to everyone.
Thank you for joining us. Right, Asif, first of all, the squad is going through some hefty training at the Pindi Cricket Stadium, where they're having a practice match as well, which is interesting to see. And I also heard Yasir Shah's press conference as well, where he himself was very confident. So things are moving in the right direction, but particularly Yasir really wants to make a comeback.
Before talking about Yasir and Pakistan cricket, the temperature is 41. Yes. And feels like 43, and they're in practice session. Amazing. Of course, you know that when you are going to a country like Sri Lanka, the weather is like same, the humidity and each and everything. So I think first of all, it's a really good step from Pakistan Cricket Board that they brought Pakistan cricket team in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium for a week, and a couple of practice matches, practice sessions. It's really important. Yasir Shah, Yasir Shah is struggling from last couple of years, especially, that he had some issues, and PCB has even some issues with Yasir Shah. But right now, he looks confident. It's really good. I have watched his press conference as well. The body language was pretty much nice, and that plenty of experience, and Pakistan require experience this time because yes, some young talent is there, but for a long time we have missed this talent in Australia series as well. So I think, and there's something more like Shan Masood is in this squad. So I want to see that either will be sitting and will be voluntarily saying that Shan Masood is in good form, because during the break you were telling me something about Ian Morgan, that what he is planning. So and I was asking to you, and I asked a question that when will we get these sort of ethics, these sort of traits? I think that still a question mark. But I think that the way Shan Masood is enjoying is the best form of his life. Will be going to volunteer himself and saying that no, I think this guy deserves. I think we do not have traits like this.
There's no courage there. I understand where you're going. Probably one or two particular names come into our mind when we talk about probably Shan making a place in the side. But it's interesting for our viewers as well to know that recently Shan Masood has also made a statement where he said that he can play on any number according to the desire of the captain and the requirements of the team. So that means that he's open for any position to bat on, and the form is terrific. Obviously, we'll be discussing that later on. These are things that it's all about your approach and what you suggest or believe for the future. That do you want to plan there, for example, the way England's been playing, or do you want to play the same brand of cricket that is now probably going obsolete in the world? It's all about strike rates now, even in Test cricket, isn't it? Hijab, your thoughts now on the tour that's coming up. 2 Test matches in Galle Stadium. Sri Lanka very confident. They've won a limited over series over Australia. They've got some talent on their own home turf, and Galle is particularly spinning conditions, so it's their spinners versus our batters.
Ahmed, I would say that Sri Lanka's confidence is great at the moment, and we are heading towards a format switch. We just had an ODI series, now we're going towards a Test series. So the squad that has been announced by Pakistan is a good omen, I would say, because I've seen a lot of names making a comeback. We've got Yasir Shah with his spin experience. We have Mohammad Nawaz coming back into the squad. He's going to provide a much needed depth in our batting, and also a lot of assistance in our spin department as well. We all know that Sri Lanka is a spin heavy country, and we have to go with our strength over there. So we have experience. We have people in red hot form. We have Shan Masood, who is in a form of his life currently playing in the county championship, and I know that he's mentioned that he can play on any position that the position the team needs him. But I think the opener position are pretty much fixed at the moment. You have Imam, you have Abdullah. They're both in good form. They've both been excellent during the Australia series. So I doubt that we'll be able to see Shan playing in the playing 11, but we never know what's going to happen. And then we have Naseem Shah, who's going to provide us a good pace attack. He's going to assist Shaheen. He's going to assist Hassan, Haris. So I think we have a pretty solid squad in our hands, and we just need to go with a positive mindset that we can actually win this series.
Absolutely. That is the hope, and that is what we're praying for, that we're able to win this series and grab those crucial ICC Test Championship points at the same time as well. Asif, very important factor when you're playing in conditions like Sri Lanka, like I said, it's our batters against their spinners. It's going to be a real test of patience, and you need escape shots. Times like these, you remember Yunus Khan. So those sweep shots, those reverse sweeps. Technically, how would you rate our batters against their spinners? They've got some quality. And technically, what should be the right way forward in order to face the spin attack? You've got catchers close as well.
I would rate highly. Our batters are really good when we talk about the techniques. Young Abdullah Shafiq looks pretty much confident. His technique is so good. He tries to play in way, which is really good. And I've observed against Australia, the way he was facing, fast bowlers. And though they didn't get, good spinners, Australians. But, even if you are if you are trying to play in weak position, this is the best thing in the Test cricket. And Imamul Haq improved a lot, and then Rizwan, Master Blaster, and then the top-notch batter Babar Azam in the middle. Fawad Alam is really good against the spinners as well. Why he was struggling against Australian, all the time, ball coming in swinger for Fawad Alam. Bowlers like Mitchell Stark and Josh Hazelwood always created problems for Fawad Alam. He's in trouble. He is in pressure. but I think that he had a good record against Sri Lanka. And if you do remember his debut in Sri Lanka, scored a tremendous 160 plus there. So I think that our batters would be fine against the spinners, got good quality, because, you know, in Pakistan and Sri Lanka, you know, conditions are more similar. So I'm not worried about the spinners. Yes, the only test is the patience. If we just waited for the loose deliveries and we didn't go for the chasing, as you said, that the catching position, then the, you know,
play the ball as late as you can.
Yes, and you know that whenever you're going for the chase, especially flight deliveries, and we're going to get edge, and there will be a chance for the edge and neck for these, you know, close fielders, silly mid off, silly mid on, then slips. But I think that our batters are good against the spinners.
They are definitely. Yeah. Technically, we do possess those technical requirements, but Hijab, it surely is a test of mental strength here, because, like I said, you need to have those escape shots. You need to worry about the strike rate now. You need to take that attack to the opposition.
Absolutely. That's the mindset that we have been seeing almost in every team now around the world. And that's the mindset that our team needs to incorporate as well. To just go with the mindset that you can actually do this. You have to have the proper intent to go for the win, not for the draw or for losing the match. Obviously, no teams ever goes with the mindset that we're going to lose. But you just have to find that particular thing that triggers that motivation inside of you, that we have to go for the win in any scenario, and that's the key to win that test match. Obviously, Sri Lanka is going to have the home advantage over there. They're going to have their own pitches, their own home grounds and everything, but we just have to believe in ourselves and make sure that we are showing them the skills that we possess.
One point, yes, Ahmed, if you allow me. See that they got the spinners like Murli Dharan, and if you do remember the way Saeed Anwar in Zamamul Haq, Yunus Khan played against him. Honestly, I do remember that Saeed Anwar played so nicely against Murli Dharan, didn't go against the spin, just played with the spin. And if Saeed Anwar, and then you do remember in Zamamul Haq, you know, really good against Dharmasena, and even, you know, Sanajay Surya was a very good spinner, but they were really good batter. So same thing required with the same team, and they did not get the quality like Murli Dharan right now, but we got the quality like Babar Azam.
But Asif, it's very interesting that Sri Lanka has figured out once again that their core strength is their spinners. They had 43 overs of spin in a one-day international. They finally understand, and they've given a chance to their young upcoming spin sensation as well in their test squad. So that means now they understand that the core strength will be the same, and that's where the attack is going to come from.
Yeah, because they were playing against Australia, and Australians, they always struggle against spin. But this time they will be facing Pakistan. So Pakistan, as I said, that C name, if Azhar Ali is there, let's suppose either if he's playing or not, I'm not saying anything, because people, they do ask me Twitter that on Twitter, why you're against Azhar Ali. Honestly, I'm not against Azhar Ali. I just want to see some fresh faces.
So that's a big question. Why are you against Azhar Ali?
See, and for example, if Azhar Ali is playing, and for surely if he's playing, let's suppose, so he's really good against a spinner. And same with Shan Masood, got a really good technique. See, if we could play over the extra cover in T20 matches, you could imagine how strengthful he is now against the spinner. So, and same for Fawad Alam, really good chap. So I think Pakistan team is really good against the spinners, until and unless if we got any sort of destruction.
Collapse. So we don't want that house of cards collapsing again. But Hijab, overall, Yasir Shah's press conference was very pertinent. He mentioned two very important things. One, about his comeback, how he feels about getting back into the Pakistani dressing room once again. And the second, which was very interesting, where he said that Babar Azam is a kind of a captain who actually gives confidence to each and every individual, to every player of the lineup. Now that's very interesting, because Yasir has already played under Misbah-ul Haq as a captain. He's of course played under Azhar Ali as well, so he understands those dynamics. He's been there with the side. So from an experience point of view, if he's commenting that Babar Azam is giving confidence, so Babar's immediate role as a captain, every day we've seen him grown as a chap.
Absolutely. We already knew this, Ahmed, that Babar is a unique kind of captain. We hardly have ever seen a captain with this much influence, with this much power to make decisions and everything, and it feels liberating, to be honest. From what we gather, the information that we get, it actually feels good that there's a captain out there who cares for his players, who has the power to select his team, who has the power to direct that team towards win. And we've seen some very good results. We've seen what a phenomenal run we had in the World Cup and then the Australian series and everything. So yeah, it actually feels very good to finally have a captain who knows what he's doing, and he's only going to get better with time. And as far as Yasser is concerned, he's been out of the team for a while now. Many issues, including his injury as well. A lot of people were asking why he was out of the squad in the Australian, series and everything. But I'm happy to see him back because we need that experience, especially in Sri Lanka, because we're going to be countering a lot of spin there. So we need his expertise in Sri Lanka and see what we can get out of him.
That's very interesting. But Asif, I have a problem here. Now, my problem is that.
Well, honestly, I cannot solve your problem. Honestly, I cannot solve it.
I have a very serious problem. Yasir Shah is back in this side. We all hope, and pray that he performs well. Pakistan needs a quality leg spinner. Apart from Yasir, the other name that we see is Shadab Khan. On the domestic front, if we exclude these two, do we have a quality leg spinner?
Still a question mark that either Shadab is ready with the red ball or not, because he requires some experience, and I think he's not playing domestic cricket. So, but it's a good blend. Let's say if both of the leg spinners are playing, Shadab is really good with his googlies, and he was master for the googlies earlier on. That even people asked him, either you're a leg spinner or you're a googly bowler. So see, I mean, it's a good blend, but still I cannot see that without any experience or with a less experience you are giving chance in test cricket. I'm against this practice, and I always talk about that. If you want to make a player, please give him 2-3 seasons at least. Right. To perform there. So I think, yes, if Shadab wants to come, of course he should play domestic cricket.
Definitely, that should be the case. But one thing is for sure, that it's an interesting test series coming up. The Pakistani team, of course, leave for Sri Lanka on the 6th of July for Colombo. They'll play a 3-day practice match first, and then they'll move on to Galle for the 2-test series. First test match on the 16th of July till the 20th, and the other one on the 24th. And interesting things coming up for Pakistan cricket, and we of course hope for all is well, and at the same time we do hope that we're able to clinch the series and gather those crucial ICC Test Championship points as well. Now moving on to some more Test cricket. England is playing New Zealand in the final Test match of the 3-match series. They've already taken the series 2-0. This is the final Test match, the final day, a target of 296 runs. We did update you with the score as well as things, of course, proceeded. But one thing is for sure, that it is absolutely absurd the way some of these chaps have been playing. I mean, Johnny Bairstow, I have to know what he's having for breakfast. 185 for 2. The second innings is underway. They require another 111 runs in 92.3 overs. And they've got all the chance to win it. 296 runs was the target on the final day of the final innings. So it is interesting. But Hijab, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy brand of cricket what we're seeing from England. I mean, a strike rate of above 70 from majority of their batters speaks volume of what they want to achieve in Test cricket now.
Absolutely, Ahmed. We are officially in the Stokes McCallum era now. It's a very different brand of cricket. It's very modern, it's very unpredictable, and it's very exciting, to be honest. This is the kind of Test cricket that, attracts a lot of viewers and everybody around the world. It's kind of crazy how England has got into that mindset where they're just not willing to give up, no matter what the situation is. And that's not what we saw in the recent past. Last year, the Ashes and everything, we saw England was a bit down, obviously, but now it's a completely different mindset. If you see some of the shots that these batsmen have been playing, including experienced batsmen like Joe Root and everything, you can actually see how Brendan McCallum has influenced them and what he's bringing to the table. And it's absolutely ridiculous. What Johnny Bairstow did on the last day of previous Test match was something that we do not see very often. It's so rare to see a Stokes Bairstow partnership like that, and I myself was so stunned with that, and I so wish that one day we'll see Pakistani batsmen batting like this. You have to chase 299 at the end of It's the last day, last session, and you're just going for it without any fear of it. You've got what, 6 wickets down, 7 wickets down. It was absolutely ridiculous, but it was a marvel to watch, to be honest.
Well, it's absurd. I mean, a reverse sweep for a six, you might as well just drop your bat with that as well, just do something even more crazier. But it's very true, Asif. I think the visible difference is the strike rate of these players. Anybody who gets to 20 runs immediately will start playing with a strike rate, because I was studying New Zealand as well. They've scored about 300 plus in both these innings, even in this test match. They've done nothing wrong, but they don't have an answer to the strike rate.
See, I think Brendan McCullum has told to Johnny Bairstow that you aren't playing Test cricket, it's T20, and just go with that mindset. And this is what we have watched even in all of the Test matches. And you were saying that 2-0. I think it's almost 3-0 now.
Almost, yes.
Yeah, it's almost 3-0 now. So and New Zealand is not happy because Brendan McCullum sitting in English team's dugout, in English team's dressing room, and telling them what's happening. The one thing I just want to share, and youngsters, they're watching, and they have to learn that the way Johnny Bairstow is playing. I think that apart from 2-3%, he didn't play any hairy-fairy shots.
You're going to come to cross shots, I know that.
No, only 2-3%, And rest of the batting, if you see, he just went with the merit.
Bat, yes.
Yeah, see, Ahmed, you know why I like you? Because you can play extra cover. So whenever the batter is going with the extra cover drive, why Babar Azam is so famous, why Virat Kohli is so famous with
Asif, we need to get that video of my cover drive and play it on loop in every show now. I think that's been discussed too much now.
Yeah, why? Because you know that I'm giving you some motivation and enthusiasm. You're smiling and that's good. So when we talk about the class of Virat Kohli, Babar Azam, Kane Williamson, all of the batters, why I always talk about them, because they used to play with the merits, and this is what Johnny Bairstow is doing. One thing, he is so brave. Why he's so brave? Because he has been told by his coach that no more fear. You would have to play really aggressive cricket, just go with a straight bat, and do not go against the line. And this is what Johnny Bairstow is doing. You were talking about his reverse sweep or rest of the couple of other shots. Only 3-4% there. The rest of the batting was so classic, so super notch batting, and this is what I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying that Johnny Bairstow is playing T20 cricket, not Test cricket.
No, absolutely superb. I think it's hardly anything you can ignore from England cricket, because it's been absolutely great to see.
But one thing is unjust, and that is you're talking about, and everybody's talking about Johnny Bairstow, but we're not talking about Daryl Mitchell.
We're coming to Daryl Mitchell.
Okay,
Let's just praise England first, and we're going to come to Daryl Mitchell. But before that, Hijab, one thing is for sure, that they're always planning for the future, and time and examples in history have proven us this. Even news coming in of Owen Morgan stepping down and Joss Butler as the next English captain to be announced, of course, is phenomenal, because anybody in the prime category of an England captain with the resources that he had could have hung on to them. But considering that he realized this, that his own personal form is not benefiting the team anymore, it's a wise decision.
No, absolutely. So England is one of those nations and one of those cricketing nations who understand how important it is to plan for the future. We saw it back in 2015 after the World Cup. We saw a revolution come in the white ball cricket for the England team. We saw how they experimented with different people, and it kind of worked for them, to be honest. They ended up winning the World Cup in 2019. And we're seeing the same kind of changes, the same kind of experimentation and revolution kind of coming into their Test cricket as well. There are a number of things that they're still struggling on. I think the most common example would be their opening pair of their batsmen right now. But then again, there's so many things that are also working for them. So they're going to keep experimenting. That's what they're not afraid of. They're going to keep trying different, people. They're going to keep trying different formulas, and they're going to see what works for them. They're not afraid to lose. What they're afraid to do is basically just give up. And we've seen that they do not have that attitude. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep trying. And that's quite inspiring, to be honest.
It is inspiring, and of course, I think the inspiration comes from a trickle-down effect from the management, from the coach, with the consistency of the players. In the past couple of days, we were discussing about Zach Crawley not performing, but the amount of consistency being given to him as a player is phenomenal to see, that they really want him to perform. Even one innings can make a difference, and that's how they develop players, and that's how the trend has been in for England. We've seen players retiring in their prime form: Nick Knight, Marcus Trescothick, Paul Colling. All of these players could have continued as long as they wanted to, but they of course stepped down for the future of English cricket, and stepped down on a high. Coming now to New Zealand and Asif's favourite, not just Daryl Mitchell, Will Young superb, Tom Blundell superb, but Daryl Mitchell scoring 400 runs in this series is phenomenal, Asif. It's a great prospect to see for a guy who's played very less Test cricket up till now.
Yeah, that's right. See, you were sharing his stats of his domestic cricket. This is called, you're planning actually that a player, if is going above 50 matches in domestic cricket and then coming to the international side, could be so lethal, could be so experienced, could be so confident. So the rest of your players are now performing. Even your captain is underrated, and he's in trouble. He's not in good form, but you're playing and you're playing your role for the team. So
true. Very true.
Yeah. So I think the Daryl Mitchell is a phenomenal guy.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, absolutely. I think it comes from top to bottom, but I've been told that we definitely need to move on. One thing is for sure, that this series has been surprising. It's been absolutely full of surprises. As we know that Hijab is full of surprises as well, a talented singer and a cricket lover as well. We do know that. I forgot to mention that in the intro as well. But on that note, Hijab and Asif, thank you very much for being on the show. We'll just proceed towards a short break, but when we come back, we're discussing tennis. Stay tuned.